this video to thank all the Marines, all the people that supported me during my Marine Corps career, all the people that held me down, but all those that are in right now. I realize that, especially for my conference, that I don't do a great job telling my story in regards to being a Marine. And that has been a very significant piece to my journey. That has been a focal point of when things get bad or when things happen. I look to the Marine Corps and my time in the Marine Corps that I spent, and here I'll show you a quick picture of what I looked like when I went into the Marine Corps. This was me back in the day. That was, you take those pictures in boot camp, and it's kind of funny when you're in boot camp. You like, man, I can't wait till you get your dress blues, like what you see, dress blues. And of course, you don't see the ribbon at all. The ribbon would be going right down here. You don't see that. And this is what we wear for the Marine Corps birthday, the Marine Corps ball, which happened, well, the Marine Corps birthday was November 10th. I don't have a Marine Corps base near me. I know like the recruiters around here celebrated, which is kind of funny. In my event, they were actually in the same room I was going to be in. I should have taken a picture. But I wanted to wish all my Marines a happy birthday. 250 years, 1775, Ton Tavern is when they were born. I joined the Marine Corps because I really wanted to be a part of something different. And that's another story. I just want to come in here just to acknowledge that there are folks out there that are serving our country, and I appreciate that. But not just serving our country, we're in the uniform, from spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, kids, parents. They are supporting those people that are literally risking their lives. This last week, I was a part of a panel that was a Veterans Day panel, and the Veterans Day panel was on the Marine Corps birthday. And I always like say, hey, look, you know, my Veterans Day experience was different for me because I was in the Marine Corps, and that's the Marine Corps birthday. And I got out. I got out of the Marine Corps because I was not about being micromanaged. Now, I love the Marine Corps. If I would have had a different job, that would have been different. But I was being micromanaged. You're like, what do you mean? I mean, of course, it's the military. The military took life. I'm like, well, let me show you something. And I kept these, and I have all of them. And I have it in packages. So let me take it out the package here. But we would have to be inspected where I was at. I was being inspected. And this is when I talk about being micromanaged, you have to have your shirts in the CGI, Commanding Generals. Oh, I have someone, Courtney. What's up, Courtney? I had to have my my shirts. This is a shirt that's folded 4x4, 4 inches by 4 inches. That's how we had to have the shirts. And I kept it in the bag because when you got inspected, this is a part being micromanaged in the Marine Corps where I got out, why I didn't stay in because I didn't like being micromanaged. So you had to do your shirts. They had to be marked. They had to be 4 inches by 4 inches. Same thing with the underwear. The underwear had to be, everything had to be marked. Everything had to be marked. And so even your underwear had to be marked, but this was 4x6. Again, I didn't like to be micromanaged, so that's what that looked like. And then even your socks had to be folded. Now this was 4x6 4x6 as well. It all had to be marked. Now, these were when I was in Okinawa, Japan in 2000. So this is 25 years old. I kept them in the plastic, and I kept a lot of my stuff here. What's up, Dylan? Thanks for saying that this is cool. I'm sharing my Marine Corps career because I think it's important that when it comes to the veterans, I don't talk about my veteran career. Or my Marine Corps career. I don't talk about being in the Marine Corps as much as I should because it has helped me become the person I am, the leader I am, the entrepreneur that I am. And I had some really great times in the Marine Corps, and I just want to promote the Marine Corps just a little bit, just because I don't do enough about it, and it's not for everybody. I'm going to first say that. Some of my best friends were people that I hated while I was in the Marine Corps because they were. Um, we all have our egos and personality, and then I was just not about to cater or cave to someone else's personality. But when it came down to it, we just had high standards. And in case for those I don't know, the Marine Corps is a department of the Navy. And so a year after I did, my sister went in and she says, "You know what the Marines stand for, right?" And I'm like, "What?" She says, "Well, it stands for My Ass Rides in Naval Equipment," which is true. The Marine Corps is a department of the Navy. Thanks, Dylan. I'm glad that you love history and stories. It's important because, they say history can repeat itself if we don't know it, but I think it's important to understand that when I joined the Marine Corps, I wanted to join because there is such history and pride. And there is this one poster of a Marine that says only the few, the chosen, the Marines. And it's important to recognize that there's a lot of people that, and even people that go, and even to this day, they swear that they are going to devote their lives to the military. Hey, Damien, today is your birthday, November 14th. Happy birthday to you, my man. And so when people give their lives, we just think of the soldier. Now, I did not serve in any combat situation. And so when you see people's ribbons, we call it like a ketchup mustard. And when you see this, and let me show you what, here's what I look like. And the ribbons would go, they're on the left breast, and so they're right here. They'd be right there when you see it. But this is the picture I had when I was in boot camp. I'm going to say, about 30-ish, almost 30 years ago. That's hard to say. Your birthday was October 29th, really? That's a while back ago. Oh, but Dylan, I'm sorry. Happy belated birthday to you, Dylan. So when it comes to my Marine Corps journey, I went into boot camp 5 days after high school. And when I went into the Marine Corps, I thought I was going to become a cop. I wasn't old enough to become a military police. And so from being military police, they had me guard nuclear weapons. And it was very difficult, even though I was stationed 2.5 hours from my home. The difficult part about it was every 3 weeks you had to work a weekend, but you had to work a rigorous schedule. You had to know, you had to be able to repeat stuff verbatim, what is daily force? Daily force is the force that is, what is the rules of engagement? What is a lawful order? You did 3 shifts. You did a 10 to 2, and this is a schedule you have for a week. 10 to 2 in the morning, and then 10 to 2 at night. Then you had 2 to 6 and 6 to 10. The best shifts were 2 to 6. 2 to 6 because you got to be there during the day and you can sleep at night. And then you also would eat. You wouldn't miss any meals. 10 to 2 were the worst meals. But that 2 years made me grow up. Your pop was in Vietnam. Oh, thanks. Please give your dad some love. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I pray that he's okay. But thank you for this service. Thank you, Dad. Give your dad my love, a hug for me, please. And so when I was guarding these nuclear weapons these 2 years, I had to grow up before my time. And it was really cool. It was cool, but it was hard. And at the moment, I was a teenager. I was 19, 20. Of course, I thought I knew all the things that I wanted. And then my next duty station was in the infantry. And I went from, we call it a dog and pony show. I went from one dog and pony show to another dog and pony show. And it was always like, you had to have your stuff on point. So, here is one. I think I took the cardboard off of this right here, but you always supposed to have backups because I was on the silent drill team, which I was spinning rifles, but I had a backup one. But if you can tell, like, here's what it looks like behind. Oh, he just got out the hospital from a stroke. Oh, I'm sorry. In Jesus' name, I'm praying for y'all. In Jesus' name, I'll keep you uplifted in my prayers. And so when I was showing you the back of these ribbons, as you can tell right here, they're just, uh, they're not like the strongest materials. So as you can see, like, you have to always have them just in case. You never knew what was going to happen. But and it's crazy to say is I can't even tell you why I have all these. The only one I know that I can remember, because for my first 3 years, this is what I had. I was in for 4.5 years, and this is see, they kind of slide off like that, just like that right there. You want to see? So this one right here. Ooh, now I gotta try to put it back on. This one right here was honorable, 3 years of good conduct. So I didn't have any UCMJ, anything negative to go on my record. So I got three good years of being in the Marine Corps right there. And I forgot these three. I forgot these three. I got these last three in the last like year. And since I was in Okinawa at the time, we were working up, and we almost saw combat. I wasn't awarded like this certificate. You just get these when everything's said and done. And I got out. I was in Okinawa for 7 months, and then I got back to Hawaii for about a month. And from that time, I had about maybe 3 weeks before I got out. And when I was getting out, I processed out of Honolulu, Hawaii. We went down to Camp Pendleton. There was like 7 of us. And then I think I was the last one to go in Camp Pendleton, because they said, hey, look, we know you want to get out, but if we could to keep you in, we'll give you anything that you want. I'm like, you like anything could be a bonus. If you want to be a drill instructor, if you wanted to be a recruiter, if you want a different MOS, they were like, you can be here. And y'all, it was a dilapidated building. Oh, Dylan, thanks. If I appreciate it. If you have money, I appreciate it. I don't have enough watch hours for you to donate, so it's all good. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. I still need a few more thousand hours to get to the point where you can donate to my page, but I'm working on it. So maybe maybe a year I can get it. That's the trajectory I'm on, but I'll still be here. But I appreciate the likes and the follows. And so we were in this old dilapidated building. It was year 2000. For those that weren't around in year 2000, we were in this, everything is gonna break down. All right, no problem, man. Hey, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. Wish you the best in your family. Much prayers to you. So we were in this dilapidated building, and they say you can have anything you want. It may take some time, but they also may come in here and shut everything down. So it's like, okay, it is what it is. So I got out. I thought I wanted to become a cop, and I had everything worked out to be a state patrol. And let's just say it wasn't for me. And when I realized I failed the test, they was like, hey, you're trained to kill, we're trained to detain, and so you need to swap that, and we'll give you the answers. And the Washington State Patrol, and I still love the Washington State Patrol uniforms. Man, they're cool to me, like in the blues, and they look sharp with the Smokey Bear hat with the drill instructor. Man, I still love that to this day. I would have been in for 25 years if I would have went in. That was my experience, because from that point, I had to go back in for another 6 months, because I had a job. I thought I was going to do the state trooper. That didn't work out. And then from there, I went back into the Marine Corps, the reserve station, and I tried to go back in on the real for real. I was going to go back in, but then I didn't pass my ASVAB with that high enough score when I initially took it. So from that moment, I was not going to retake it. And plus, I was just running out of options. I was just really, fear was kicking in. And so that was my extent of my active duty career. But in that time, I was stationed in California, Then I went over to Virginia. Good God, Virginia, man, Virginia was amazing. And it's funny as I'm sitting here on a Friday night, man, something was always popping in Virginia when I was there. And I'm sure I was over in Chesapeake Bay. I didn't drive, but man, it was a blast. And from Chesapeake Bay, I got stationed up in a naval submarine base Bangor. And then from there, Kaneohe Marine Corps base, Kaneohe Bay, I think that's what it is, K-Bay, and then that was in Kailua. And then my last duty station, if you will, was Camp Hansen in Okinawa, Japan. And then I came back to Hawaii, processed out. And so I just wanted to share this because people ask me about my involvement or affiliation with the military, and I don't really ever talk about it. And I think I should, and I want to make sure that I did it here on a live, and also we can push it out because I always wanted this look. Well, I'll show it to you again. This is my look being back in the Marine Corps days. I always liked that look right there. And man, I love that look. Hey, Dylan, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the like. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you, my man. And so when I went into the Marine Corps, I had this ideology that I was going to be a lifer, and I obviously I wasn't. And the number one thing that I miss about the Marine Corps more than anything is the people that I served with. Like during those times, and it's funny because you hear that from a lot of different people. Like if you were today ask the question, if you were to go back into the Marine Corps, if you had to do it all over again, would you do it? And that's a hard question. Jackson, what's up, Jackson? My name is Nathan. Nice to digitally meet you. Action Jackson, that's me, what I thought about. If I had to do it over again, would I go into the Marine Corps? I don't know. And that's what is hard for me because I'm grateful for the experience. I love the Marine Corps. I love everything that the Marine Corps blessed me with. But man, there were some hard times. There were some very hard times. When you talk about being away from your home for the first time, but being in an environment where you're just isolated. And I like you, because everything from boot camp and all, and is like you're like always with somebody. But when you get to your duty station, it becomes very lonely, and you have this idea what it's going to be and when it's going to be like, and it wasn't that for me. And you watching with Silas. I don't know who is Silas. I don't know what A&R is. So help me out with that. And so when it came down to the Marine Corps, for me, being that it wasn't my full-time career or what I was focusing on or what I was going to do, I kind of just dropped it by the wayside. But I want to, one thing I'm going to do differently now is I'm going to continue to promote my Marine Corps career because it was the best foundational tool or experience that one could have given me. And I know sometimes people think I'm a militaristic, but I'm really not. I just found a lot of great people from a lot of different backgrounds that went in the military. And I was one of those people that I didn't have someone encouraging me to go into the military. I signed up when I was 17, and my parents had to sign for me because I was too young to enlist. And so I didn't have the support I needed. And if I were to go in again, I would definitely ask for a few things. You said you accidentally sent that. And what time is it here? It is 7:48 p.m. Where are you located at? Where are you at? And so when I think about my Marine Corps career, the people that surrounded me, and you kind of like wish if I could run it back, would I have the same people? I would. I had cats that from all over the country for all different reasons. I remember one cat, he was telling me that he had to sign up for the military because if not, they were going to send him to jail. So the judge said, you either go into the military and you go into, I guess maybe he could have chosen which branch, but he chose the Marine Corps, else they were going to send him to jail. I had someone else tell me on the other side, like they're like the third generation. And this person, I forget his name, but I see his face and we got out at the same time. He came in there for one reason. He came in to get his bonus, which I think his bonus was like $40,000. And then his education bonus was $40,000. And I was like, what? They gave out bonuses, signing bonuses for you to join the military? Like, what? Man, that's crazy. It's 10:48 p.m. Oh, you're in Pennsylvania. I have, or 10:50 now. Matter of fact, one of my best friends from the Marine Corps, he's from Erie. And I had, I don't know if my aunt and uncle still live there. I think they live in Hawaii now, but they had a house in the Poconos, and they were like, do not play with any of the bears. They had a few acres of land though. It was cool. I only went there one time. I wish I could go back. But when I think about the Marine Corps and what it's done for me, it was not so much about like the duty stations or the uniform. Wait, let me come back to the uniform. So while in boot camp, you know, we all have to wear the same thing. We all have a shaved haircut. Now, when you get, you know, further in and you get to your duty station, people have mustaches or whatever, or you can wear a hair a certain length. But in boot camp, yes, Hawaii is nice, hell of expensive. I was there, lived there for a little bit, yes. And when it came to this one guy that I was super close with, we were just going through our personal stuff, and I was like, let me see your driver's license. And he's like, yeah, let me see yours. And I kind of had like a little afro, but it wasn't too far off to what I looked like, right? Of course, I didn't have my beard and my goatee. At the time, I had a goatee, what I wore on a regular basis. But he was completely bald. Dude was older. I think he was like 26. And dude had, you know, back in that day, we called it grunge. Like he had like long hair, and you can tell he had like this punk look to it. And matter of fact, he was our guide. And I was trying to become the guide because if you are a guide, the guide is like the leader, the main leader of the platoon. You get to graduate with becoming either a private first class or E2 or a Lance Corporal, which is an E3. And that means you get paid a lot more. Because I think we made a little bit more than minimum wage, just a little bit more. You said your cousin was in the Air Force but got kicked out for private reasons? Okay, yeah, I'll leave that alone. That sucks though. The Air Force, and this is what I tell people, like if you're gonna look at the military, look at all the branches. Air Force is the only military that has an regionally accredited college. So one of the things that you get told, go in the military and what you do gets transferred. It doesn't. It does not get transferred one-to-one to college credit. I don't want to say that's a lie, but it's not an exact truth because sure, they do get transferred, but it's not one for one, and it just becomes an elective, which really sucks because when you're in college, you don't have very many electives, and the electives you want to choose for is pretty important because you're paying a lot of money for it. And so with the Air Force, though, every class you take, to my understanding, counts towards truly a degree. And of course, you don't have to pay the same amount of price for either. And they encourage you. And I think it's mostly paid by the Air Force. So Air Force is one heck of a way to get in. And and they don't have to run. The last time I remembered, you just have to ride a bike. But we had the most rigorous physical fitness test. For a full 300 points. Oh, he was just in North Korea. Ooh, I was in South Korea. and we trained with some South Korean Marines. And depending on the year, I was there in February. It was extremely cold. Oh my gosh, it was extremely cold. And so, oh man, I forgot what I was saying because I was about the different branches of Air Force. Um, Army is the oldest, so they have a lot of money. Um, Now with the new administration, I don't know what's going on when it comes to this stuff, but Navy, that was a hard one. But basically, those cats made money when they were always out sea, but they were always out in sea. They didn't, and some people they were cool like that, but for people that had relationships, marriages, families, yeah, that would have been hard. That'd be super hard. So he didn't do college, but joined Army, then switched to the Air Force. Yeah, you know what? If I wanted to go back into the military after I graduated from college, because I would have been an officer. My buddy did that, who is from Pennsylvania, and he's now, I think he's a lieutenant colonel in the Army. Um, yeah, he does a pretty cool job, and I'm super proud of him. But it's funny, I couldn't stand that dude, but when I first met him, but he and I have stayed in contact throughout the years. That's why I said, I am a little regretful that I don't promote my Marine Corps career as much as I should. A lot of people look at me and they're like, "Wait, you were in the Marine Corps?" I had one person tell me, um, "Man, Jackson, you had a lot of people in the military, man. It seems like that's in your DNA and your bloodline. Look, or I don't know if you're gonna go in, but yeah, that's super cool. World War II, man. That was, man, the war. That's the thing that you start learning about the military. Uh, hey, Wani or Wani, I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry if I mispronounced that. You start learning about these wars, and man, it's crazy. Thank you for the likes, y'all. Thank you for also the subscribes. I appreciate it. And man, it is crazy because all the likes and subscribes, help me get to the next level of making sure I get to my hour so I can get to the YouTube partner program for those that want to donate to me. I'm not able to do that just yet. Um, one of the things that I wanted to do in the Marine Corps, what I thought I was going to do in the Marine Corps, is when it came down to uh, that is the most stupidest thing that you on here saying 6'7", 6'7". Okay, yeah, gotcha. But if 6'7" your thing, do your thing, boo. 6'7". My gosh, the most corniest. Y'all's generation is cray cray. All right, so when it came down to like my journey in the Marine Corps, I'll just say that my journey in the Marine Corps, um, I don't, I wouldn't. Ooh, it's hard to say I would do it again, but I would do it again, but I would have a different mindset. And the mindset that, because it has helped me, is everyone that I went into the Marine Corps, um, everyone that I went into the Marine Corps, they had a story. They had a background. They um, had a reason to go in. Kind of like Jackson, he was on here talking about his family members in World War II, from World War II to Vietnam. Back then, to serve your country, you talk about the different wars, the people that went in, what they had to cycle. There was no luxuries in life like there are now. Like now we're in a different place, and it's crazy because they were fighting for the freedoms that we take for granted. And I don't want to walk on that. I want to honor them, from the civil wars, from my ancestors that fought for my freedom, to all the world wars, from Nazism to, Vietnam. I'm not going to go into the politicals of that, but war is, it's something else, man. It is something else because people lose their lives, and if they, even when they come back, if they do come back, they're not the same. And um, I wait, hold on, wait. So I'm looking at the chat. Wani, what's up? What? Why are you trying to be mean? Don't do that. Don't. You trying to have a conversation with old man? If you 11, ain't nothing wrong getting wisdom, because obviously there's some things in life that I learned that I can pass on to you that I'm just trying to help you. But I'm passing it on to everyone because the whole purpose of this video is to help people understand that the Marine Corps just had a birthday and the veterans just had a special day, and we need to honor them. I got kids myself, and I know my kids, they have some Marine Corps stuff, but I need to take them to a Marine Corps base. Uh, I need to show them what a military life kind of look like. I'm too, I'm too big. Many cheeseburgers ago, I could fit into my uniform, and I'll get back there. This is because this is what I looked like back in the day, and people are always like, oh wow, that was a long time ago, but that's what I look like. And Jackson, man, that's awesome that you love to learn, because um, I was not into learning when I was at that age, because I thought I had stuff all figured out. And so when you get into the Marine Corps, you your underwear, you talking about, like, I had to you buy these straight up. You and then you fold them 4x6, and you use starch, and then you press them, and then you never use these things again. And you had to have, there was a number. It's called a CGI, for commanding generals and inspection. They just basically wanted to ensure, when you come back to the war times, that you had all the equipment and uniforms you needed to succeed. And that you had to have, I think at least you had to have 5 skivvies, 5, was it like, yeah, it was 5 underwear, I think, and I could be wrong. Someone can correct me. It's okay. You had to have 3 shirts. I don't know why it was 3 shirts. And then from there, it could be like brown was a standard. And yeah, you can call me Nate. Can you quit yapping? Okay, man, let's remove that. Yeah, you ain't got, come on, man. Don't need to be unnecessary. You need to have 3 shirts. I didn't wear, you got these in boot camp. And once we were allowed to wear green, I wear nothing but green. But again, like you, oh, that was kind of hard, as you can tell, y'all. Like, look, that's been that way for forever. But you put them in bags so moths don't get to them, and then from there, I don't think I've taken this out since since I've put this in here. But oh shoot, that's not going in that way. Here, let's go this way. Does this work this way? I think so. And I remember, man, oh, I think not. I gotta redo this. I remember, staying up late at night because you just found out that this is happening. And then it turned out like we only had this expression, well, 1.5 times, one official one time. And then, there we go, got that bad boy to fit. And then we had an unofficial one. And I remember doing it, and then they say you put it in bags, so make sure that it doesn't get no air. You can always keep it, and still to this day, and I still have all of them, so I should count. But did I just say, hey, Jesus loves you? Absolutely, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. He gave his only life. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And matter of fact, I gave my life to God when I was in the Marine Corps, which is the craziest thing when people start like, what? I mean, it was in Hawaii. I gave my life to God. I think it was either 4/11 or 4/16, 1999. And I was just tired of being broken. And so the Marine Corps, and we say it's a band of brothers, but this is anyone that's in the military, is that what's crazy is you just build this relationship when you're just going through tough times. I have this one picture, and we were like resting in a ditch, or where we had to do 5 mile hikes, 10 mile hikes, 15 mile hikes, 20 mile hikes, 25 mile hikes. We call those humps. And I remember I'm going to, like, we're leaning back, and I took a picture back when we had, like, we didn't have phones. You're going to get baptized soon? That's amazing, man. Congratulations on being baptized, Jackson. In Jesus' name, may God bless you and your family. You're on the right path, and God loves everyone. Yes, he does. Hey, we are his creations. And I remember when I was on this hump, we were all like leaning back in the ditch. We were leaning back in the ditch, and and it was just like, man, the suffering we were going through. But we were like, F it. Like, it is what it is. And I live in Vancouver, Washington. It's about 5 minutes north of Portland, Oregon, over on the West Coast. That's where I live. And so when it comes to the people that I was always around, and my job in the Marine Corps at the time, when I was in the infantry, I was like a operations person for my unit, my CEO, my commanding officer. When I had duty is when we have to be like on security and everything, on walk around. I went to his office, and then he promoted me to, I said, hey, you're very attention to detail, oriented, focus. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, hey, we need a police sergeant. And I was like, what's a police sergeant do? It says, basically, we have the 3 Bs. I don't know if you hear 3 Bs: the beans, bullets, and bad guys. And with the beans, bullets, and the bad guys, you help make sure that everybody has what they need when we are training for combat, because I was in the infantry. And before, I was just I was a corporal overseeing 3 Marines, because those are called fire teams. But then after he promoted me, then he moved me over to the whole platoon, and which was about 90 people. It was, I think we had 3 platoons of like 30. So we had the whole company, and my CO said, matter of fact, we had 3 and 1 weapons. Oh man, it's been so long ago. But we just searched Portland in social studies. Yeah, Portland, Oregon, not Portland, Maine. But yeah, the only sports team we have that's at a higher level is the Portland Trailblazers. And so when my CEO put me in charge of, the whole operations, you have to go to bed now. Yeah, it is kind of late. It's almost 11 o'clock. So I wish you well. Have a good night. He said, I go to work. Hey, go to work. Do the thing too. Hey, I wish y'all the best. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for learning about my Marine Corps journey. I appreciate y'all. So when it came to my job, I was really doing operations. And so overseeing that, I got to go always an advanced party to things. And so I built a smaller network. And at the time, I was an E4, but the job role was, bye, Jackson, see you later. But the role was for an E5, a sergeant. I wasn't a sergeant yet. And then my boss, I reported to, he was a gunny sergeant, which is an E7. And sometimes when he wasn't there, I was at his bullet. And so what happened is, you have staff sergeants and sergeants, and really staff sergeants, E6s, that reported to him. So when he wasn't there, guess what? They had to report to me. That was my first time I had like grown men reporting to me, and I wasn't like cocky or arrogant. But with my first sergeant, he even had like, we for our PFT, I mentioned it earlier, but I didn't say anything. For a perfect score, 100 points, you have to run 3 miles in 18 minutes. And so we were practice running a mile and a half, and we would run together. I remember he says, hey, and my first sergeant was a runner, and he was like, no, we're all about to run 9-minute half miles, basically 1 mile and a half. He says, we're gonna run a 9-minute pace, and he can easily run like, he can run the 3 miles in under 18 minutes. We had 2 people, matter of fact, in my company, when we ran the PFTs, Um, I had one person, he ran his 3 miles in like 14 minutes. The next guy ran his 3 miles in 16 minutes. I was like a 21-minute guy, 20, maybe 22. So I ran at a 7-minute pace. But I never really did worse than like 23 minutes. But I was one of the last, I was one of the slow ones. So just imagine just being like seeing a lot of people get 19, 18, 20. 20 was good, but if you got a 21, I'm like, you probably need to work a little bit harder. So, it's like, well, nowadays, like, man, that was a good pace. But the people that I was with, and this is the last thing I'm grateful for my Marine Corps career, but I'm really super grateful for the people I served with. And I can remember Roscoe, Curry, Joe, Sap, what's his name, Dwayne. Those cats, like I said, I lived 2.5 hours away from my duty station. All of them did come home. They came home to me, with me. So when we got out, which we weren't all in the same group. Had different platoons. And when we weren't going into the wire where we guarded nuclear weapons at the moment, they all came home with me that Friday night, Saturday night. We went to the club. And since I came home to my mom, I was in the church. We had to go to church the next day. So Sunday school started at 9:30. But guess what? They were there. And that's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly why I say I love the Marine Corps, and I still have them on my Facebook page. I just saw one of my buddies that I wouldn't even call him a buddy, but I feel like I need to. When I had this gunny sergeant, I was up. My bae's calling me. I gotta tell her I'm on live. When I had this gunny sergeant spitting in my face, he was like spitting in my face, yelling at me. I remember crying, and I just remember just feeling like I was a failure. And man, I was just hurt. And I remember, and I was like the only black guy too. And I need to mention that. And these all white guys, they were like, just all these profanities. And they made me feel so much better, like so much better. Like, and like I said earlier, how we come from different backgrounds. These were guys that would be like, they drove like, I would call them like, not rednecks. They're not rednecks, but totally different way of life. Different way of life. We never hung out when we put on civilian clothes. Never even seen in the same area. So when it comes to, these guys that when I think about, now that my mom is gone too, one more thing, are you doing this tomorrow? I traditionally don't do it at night, but I may. I don't know. I'm trying this out. I'm seeing when my people are on here. But if you say you gotta be here, I'll do it same time. Same time. You gotta be here, Jackson? And so when I think about like how my mom died last year, and now I just have her memories. One of my memories I have now that's I can't even talk to her about is when she made all the people, that I brought home with me, they all had to go to church. They all had to go to church. And the buddies of the Marine Corps, they were like, hey, that was cool, man. That was cool. Thanks for allowing me to come home with you. You were hospitable. And it was my mom that did it. And they came to church with me. We hung out. And man, when I think of my Marine Corps career, I was with some very phenomenal people. So when I think about the Marine Corps birthday, when I think about Veterans Day, I don't think of loss. I don't think of people that, and I know not to, again, I'm not trying to trample on any, the people that gave their all, their everything. And I just keep it real. I remember saying like, we say like, it's not for It's not for anyone. We're fighting for ourselves. We're fighting to get back home to our family members, which are y'all, fighting coming to our wives. I never worked with any women, so I only work with guys. So it was always, hey, we want to get back to your girlfriend, your wife, or if you don't have one, like I'm fighting for my friend. Like, we're doing this because we wanted a better life, and we all had that uniform united us in a way that I couldn't tell you. And of course, we wanted these things. We wanted these things, but what we want, what we wanted more was the time off. Man, that was really tough, man. When I think about it, and we wanted time off. We wanted time off to hang out with each other. So, about to get emotional. But that's where I say, like, my Marine Corps career, man, it was blessed not because I shot all these weapons or I traveled to all these places or I got to wear the uniform. Yes, all those things were amazing. But what I loved the most was the people, the brothers that I served with. Like, that was amazing. So, my girls asked me, those are my two of my 5 kids that live with me. They were like, hey, happy Veterans Day. One daughter made breakfast. The other daughter, she helped make dinner. But they all like celebrated me, and that was nice. And they all said, "Dad, can we make sure we put your picture in the school assembly?" And that's super nice too. And so I appreciate that. And and I didn't join or sign up. We didn't have any of that in school. And so when I think about Veterans Day, I'm like, how come I don't talk about it? When people say, like, Nathan, you don't talk about it. I'm like, you're right. I should talk about it. And I'm talking about it because I want to honor the people. He said I'd be here at 11 a.m. 11. Sorry, I was in my story. I didn't see the chat, Jackson. My bad. I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, I was just honoring my Marine Corps journey because people say I don't talk about it enough. So I will. I'll tell another story tomorrow about my Marine Corps because I got lots of stories, including which I won't say a lot of bad little Johnny jokes. But you're supposed to be in bed, my man. You're supposed to be in bed. But I appreciate you. For someone who's 11 years old and wants to learn from somebody said this old man, hey, man, that's what's up. My 13 and 14-year-old don't even want to learn from me that much. So, hey, you got something going on. So you have a good night. Wish you the best. Thank you. And so when it comes to my Marine Corps career, I am blessed, beyond blessed, beyond blessed. Yes, that I can wear the uniform. Yes, I have these experiences. But man, to be with those people. So if I served with you in the Marine Corps career from 1996, again, from Camp Pillington, I was a San Diego Marine. I did my school of infantry. I graduated boot camp August 30th, 1996, okay? August 3rd, 1996. We had our 10-day leave, Then we came back the following Monday for a school of infantry. I think because it was summertime, there was a month gap where between started. So from there, and if you were in Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, from I want to say December 96 to January 97. From there, I went to Bangor. And then from there in 99, I went to Hawaii. And then I got out in 96. And so if you with me any of those times, I would love to connect with you. Love to hear your story. I love to hear like how you got there and what's been up with you. And if you haven't, if you just want to talk to a fellow Marine, if you want to talk to someone that kind of lived that same life, jarhead life, devil dog life, leatherneck life, man, I think tomorrow, because Action Jackson and Dylan wanted me to come back on, I'm going to talk to you about the leatherneck. The leatherneck at Bangor. Man, that'll be my next story. I should call these like my Marine Corps Career Chronicles, the Marine Chronicles, man. Because we don't talk about it, y'all. We don't talk about it. So I've been on here for a little bit. So let me jump off. I just want to just tell all my service members and folks that have been in supportive from the spouses, the kids, the family members. Hey, thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting us. It would have been so much harder without your support. Thank you very much. And thank you to my friends that pay for my meals and pay for my golf when I go. So thank you very much. Thank you, and happy 250th birthday, Marine Corps. Hoorah, Semper Fi, as we say.